Welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is Style in V, and this is a tutorial on how to fix a zipper. Yes, a very neat way on how to fix your zipper and cover it up with a facing or a lining. Now this is an already fixed zipper that I did, so you can see how neat it is. You cannot even see the joining part. That is the zipper allowance. So this is what you'll be learning on this tutorial. So let's get started. So I have my fabric here, my already drafted fabric, and we also be needing a zipper for this. Yes, and your thread, your facing or your lining. So I've gone ahead to mark out my zipper allowance. That is the yellow chalk that you can see right here. So I've gone ahead to mark out my zipper allowance. This is the wrong face of my fabric, and where I marked this allowance is on the good face. Okay, so now whatever your zipper allowance is, you go ahead and mark it. So I'll show you guys how to mark the allowance from this midpoint here where you can see me showing you here. Just go ahead and mark whatever your allowance is, like this. If it's 1.5 inches, if it's 1 inch, you go ahead and mark it there. So mine is 1 inch, and I've gone ahead to mark out the 1 inch starting from the neckline to the hem of this top right here. Now let's work on the zipper. Now on this zipper, if you notice this zipper from the midpoint where it have the main zipper itself, there is this smooth line about 0.1 inch directly after this midpoint here, before the rough side of the zip. So that is where we'll be placing exactly on the zipper allowance line. Okay, we're placing that exactly on the zipper allowance line. So this is the wrong face of our fabric. Yeah, this is the wrong face of our fabric. You go ahead and turn it at the wrong face of your fabric there. Then you flip it like small. Just go ahead and flip it small. Now you can see the zipper allowance is still there. So we'll place our zip directly on that line. That's 0.1 inches smooth line that I showed you guys. That is where we will place on this zipper allowance line. So just watch closely how I will place this zipper. Just watch closely how I will place it. Now because this is a top and I need to turn it on with my lining, I will come up by 1 inch from the hemline. So that is where my zipper will stop. Okay, so now let's go ahead and place this zipper. Now on that 0.1 smooth line that I showed you guys, that is where we will place this 1 inch zipper line that we marked. Okay, so that's where we will place it. So just watch closely what I want to do. Now when I hold it on here, I'll just go ahead and hold it on with a pin. That is, I am pinning that smooth line immediately after the zipper. That is what I am doing. I am pinning the smooth line immediately after this zipper, like this. So I'll just go ahead and follow the line. I'll be placing my zip. Please don't drag your zip. Okay, so you just go ahead and follow the line. Preferably you can as well give it a loose stitch, then iron it so you can get your line if you don't want to mark out a chalk. So you can do that other method. So I'll just go ahead and follow the line of my chalk, and I'll be placing my pin, my zipper, and holding it on with my pin like this up to meet the neckline. So you can see what I am doing here, up to meet this neckline like this. So you can see it right here. So I'm doing this on the right side of my blouse. Yeah, I think this is the right side of the blouse. So guys, I am done pinning, and this is what we have. Now the next thing for us to do is to fix in the second fabric, the second side of our dress. Okay, so you just go ahead and sew on this smooth line. Yes, you'll be sewing on the smooth line, but we're not doing it now. We have to fix in the other fabric before doing this. So let's fix in the second side of our fabric. Also note the zipper allowance line here that I'm showing you guys. Now you just go ahead and fold it small like this, as you can see me showing you right here, and we will fix the other side of the zipper. Now remember, we fixed one side to one side of the fabric. Now I will also come up by 1 inch. Remember what I did on the other side? I also come up by 1 inch here because of my lining turning, because I'm turning this with a lining. So this is how I will place the other side of my zipper. Yes, that smooth side of the zipper close to the zipper itself, I will place it on my zipper allowance like this, as you can see me showing you all right here, and I'll hold it on with a pin. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and hold it on with a pin. Now I am pinning directly to the smooth side, that is the 0.1 inch that is close to the midpoint of the zipper itself. So that is where I am pinning. Yes, so this is what I will do. So I'll just go ahead and repeat the same process I did on the other side. Yes, by pinning on that smooth line, and the smooth line will be directly on my zipper allowance like this. So this is what we have. So I'll be doing this continuously till I get to the neckline area. So I'll have to do this repeatedly so you can see what I am doing. So this is how it will be. You hold it on with a zip. Now this is just, so I had to zoom this particular part so you understand what I am saying. So if you touch it, like where my pin is, you notice that it's a smooth side. So I'll just go ahead and hold it on the zipper allowance like this. Okay, as you can see me showing you all right here. So that's why I said you can give yours a loose stitch and iron it, then lose it again. Okay, before, if you don't want to mark out your choke. So that's it. So this is what we have. So the next step is to sew. So I'll be sewing directly on where I have my pin. That is that smooth line that is close to the zipper. That is where I will be sewing. Okay, so you have to be careful about this so that you don't sew on the zipper itself. Now I advise you can use a zipper foot for this. If you're not really good with using this normal foot, you can use a zipper foot. That makes it easier for you. So I'll just go ahead and sew directly on the smooth line like this. As I'm sewing, I'll be removing my pins like this. So I'll just go ahead and sew from the neckline to meet where the zip ends. So as I am sewing, I am removing my pins like this. So this is just what you will do until you get to the end of the zipper. And this is what we have. You can see what we have here. And the next one is to sew the other side of the zipper. And I will start from this end part here to meet the neckline. So that is how you sew the other side. So I'll just go ahead and also sew direct. So I'll just go and I will repeat the same process. As I'm sewing, I am removing my pins like this, as you can see me. So you just be sewing on the smooth line. From this hem, I'll take it to meet the neckline. So guys, I am done sewing and this is what we have. Now I'll open up this zipper for you all to see. Now if you notice that my zip is not hooking because I did not sew on it. Okay, I didn't sew on it. So this is the back side and the inside. I'll show you guys the inside. This is the inside of it, so you can see how our zipper is. So the next step for us to do is to cover it up with our lining piece. So the same method you do for your facing. If you're using a facing, you do the same thing that I want to show you all right here. Now you will open this up like this. You open up the zipper like this, as you can see me showing you all here. You open it up and not close it, please. I was just trying to like show you guys what the zip is now, and I'll turn it with I'll cover it up with my lining. Yeah, so when you're using the facing, you do the same thing. I'll cover this up with my lining on this side that I open. That is right side of my lining piece to face the right side of my fabric piece here, as you can see me showing you all right here. So you just go ahead and place it right side of the lining to face the right side of the fabric like this. you can see what we have here. So I'll just go ahead and sew with 1/2 inch here up to meet this point here. Okay, from this point here to meet this point, close to the zipper here, close to this zipper here, before I will continue to sew it to the end part. So we'll be doing this directly on our sewing machine so you guys can understand better. So this is what we have. I've fixed in the lining piece here. So I'll be turning this to the so you can see it clearly. Now you can see the zipper allowance line that we have. That is the zipper that we just sewn. That is the black line there. So just note that particular line. Now let's start sewing the neckline of both the fabric and the lining. So I'll just go ahead and sew the neckline to meet the zipper allowance here, like this. As you can see me showing you all here, I'll just go ahead and sew the neckline, to meet the zipper allowance line that we have. So just watch closely. So immediately after the line, I will stop. Okay, I will stop immediately after this line. Then I will continue to sew it straight, that is vertically. I will continue to sew it vertically. Please place your lining very well so it doesn't shift. So, and I'll sew immediately after this line that we have here. So I'll just go ahead and sew after it until I get to where the zipper ends, like this. Okay, so just take note of this line. You're not sewing on this line, you're sewing after it. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and sew it, then I'll get back to you guys. So guys, I am done sewing and you can see what we have. So the next thing for us to do is to cut out this excess. You just go ahead and cut it out on both sides. I've gone ahead to do it on the two sides of the zipper. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and remove this excess that we have around the neckline area. Yes, I'll just go ahead and remove, so that I'll not be having an excess around that area. So I will turn it to the good face like this, so you can see what we have. I'll turn it to the good face like this. So I'll push this in with my scissors here, so that it will give me a sharp end like this. So I've gone ahead to do one side and this is the other side here, like this, so you can see what we have. So by the time you're done, you can just go ahead and give it a good press here, so you can see the out part of our zipper here, like this. So, and let me turn it for you all to see the inside of our zipper. So if you notice, this is a very neat way of covering up your zipper. So this is the inside of our zipper. You can see how neat it is. If you've watched to this point, thank you so much for watching and see you in our next video. Bye.